Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with another update of the storm situation out in the state this afternoon. So again, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for portions of eastern Shelby County, moving down towards Childersburg at this point. So eventually getting into Talladega County. And we did have a report of some trees down in the area of Highway 25 northwest of Vincent. So do have some confirmed damage with this severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. As far as when it is valid for, still valid until 2:15. So we got another 6 or 7 minutes on that. We'll see if the National Weather Service decides to extend this further with the history of producing some tree damage. And also there has been most likely some hail occurring with this as well. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the storm. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit further here. I'll kind of turn off that report. We'll zoom in a little bit tighter on the storm here. So now at this point, the core of this storm is basically moving over Vincent at this point, moving towards Harpersville. So again, if you know anybody on moving or driving along 280, or if you happen to be seeing this, you're going to be getting out there soon. This severe thunderstorm is moving towards 280 near Harpersville at the intersection there of 25 or 231 and 38. Just here in the next few minutes. It's pretty much imminent at this point. We'll go ahead and kind of put this into motion, and it's kind of propagating to the south. It's kind of sitting there near Sterrett, in between Sterrett and Vincent for a little bit, and now has started to kind of push down to the south a little bit further. Doesn't look like there's as much of a hail core. It looks like that hail core has probably collapsed now, so I would imagine we'll hear about some hail that may have occurred there west of Vincent. But again, still strong, heavy rain, heavy storm with a good bit of lightning moving towards Harpersville. And again, did have reports of some trees down just north of there just in the last few minutes, or just in the last 30 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and take a kind of a wider look here. Again, we've got another severe thunderstorm warning that we want to check in on in the southeastern part of the state. So we'll switch over to that. So that one's still for Houston County going until 2:15. We'll switch radar sites here and get that to our radar down in that area, Fort Rucker. And this storm is not looking as healthy now as it was just in the last 15 or 20 minutes. So that's a good thing. We'll go ahead and put it into motion here. So it was looking pretty heavy there when it was still sitting basically over Dothan and not moving a whole lot for a little bit. But a lot of that has now sort of collapsed. And again, I think that's what we're seeing with these thunderstorms is just given the way that the pattern is set up here, is you're getting just lots of just a big updraft forming, producing and some hail within the storm, but it's not moving a whole lot. So eventually, what goes up must come down, and you have this big load of rain and in some cases hail that then collapses to the ground. And that's what you see here. This little ring right here of light green coming out of the storm. That is basically a gust front, and that's or evidence in many cases, like in this kind of situation, of a downburst. And when you get that, that's where you get those gusty winds, and that's most likely what happened with those trees that were down up in further up north in parts of Shelby and St. Clair County. So again, looks like this storm has started to collapse, but we'll go ahead and stop here and zoom in because there's still some heavy rain northeast of Malvern there, near 52, kind of just into the northeast corner of Geneva County. Again, this is moving in the direction of 231, but it may not quite make it there. We're near Taylor at this point, south of Peterman, and again, moving kind of south of Dothan along 231. I know this time of year you've got maybe some people, since this is a Friday, might have some people doing some beach travel potentially if you're on 231. So again, that is a potential issue. You want to take it easy. And again, there is an aerial flood advisory in this area as well for this storm. So there could be some water covered roadways in the area. You want to make sure you're just taking it easy if you're out there. So let's kind of zoom out a little bit. So those are the two warnings that we have right now. We'll take a quick look back. Looks like there is a severe thunderstorm warning over in the Jackson area over there, or in parts of central Mississippi, but no other warnings in place now, but still some other heavy thunderstorms. And we'll just go ahead and zoom back into some of the heavier ones along the state line here. So a lot of the heavier rain and thunderstorms have now started to move into Georgia here from portions of Henry County. So now it's started to move east of Abbeville. And actually, we'll take a look, see if the Abbeville camera, at least I'm not sure it's currently online. We may have a little bit of a communications issue here, but I'll at least show you what it looked like recently when the storm passed through. Yeah, so I think this was back maybe a few minutes ago when the storm passed through the area. So again, you had some heavy rain and thunderstorms there at that point. That's now moved to the east. Basically, most of it starting to cross the state line at this point into Georgia. Again, over towards north of Ozark around Ayrton on 231. You've got some showers and thunderstorms in Coffee and Dale counties there. And they're kind of just starting to enter into the northern part of those. We'll kind of move further up to the northwest and maybe switch over to our Montgomery radar site here. And near Luverne, you've got some heavier thunderstorms starting to move in southeast Butler County, southeast of Greenville, get a few there as well. And starting to move into western Pike near Troy, got a heavy thunderstorm with a good bit of lightning there as well. It's got 30-something strikes, 34 strikes or so in the last several minutes. So again, that's moving along US 29 here, moving into Troy. And again, a lot of areas of storms, at least in the vicinity of US 231 as we're looking into this part of the state here. And so again, moving through Curry's, just starting to move south of Pine Level at this point, putting it into motion here. You can kind of see the overall motion. These are actually got a little bit more of a movement to them compared to some of the other ones we've seen. So these are actually moving east fairly rapidly. So again, have already kind of moved through Highland Home and points to the west there. Again, we'll kind of take a bigger view here and zoom into, we've had some heavier storms in Lee County as well. I haven't gotten a warning on this one, but this one has been looking pretty healthy for the last 30 minutes or so. So it's now started to clear through at least the kind of the central part of Auburn and the campus of the university, but it is still nearby. So just kind of having moved east of the kind of central part downtown Auburn. Opelika, though, still in the thick of it and moving again towards Alabama 169, US 1 going off to the east of Opelika, State Road 51 going towards Watley Crossroads. And Beauregard is also going to get some heavy rain here soon as well. So again, this has been a very heavy looking thunderstorm, and we'll take a look at a few things here. I think we've got, in this case too, you've got an outflow boundary, you've got some downburst winds most likely in this area, so I'm sure it's been very gusty with that. All right. That storm that was near Lake Martin has started to kind of dissipate and sort of reform a little bit to the west. So you've got in Coosa County, you've got a little bit more there, but let's take a look at the northern one again. Now it looks like the Weather Service has let that one expire as that storm has sort of collapsed like we talked about earlier. So I'll go ahead and we'll take a closer look at that. It looks like really some of the heavier storms moving east of Talladega at this point. And so I'm starting to move into parts of Clay County, or at least approaching there. You got Lineville eventually going to get some of that heavy rain. We'll go ahead and put a stop to that one now. Let's switch our radars here. All right, so there's your Birmingham radar. Again, heavy thunderstorms in large portions of the kind of eastern, sections of the kind of overall Birmingham metro, moving out towards Talladega. Anniston also now starting to get some heavy rain moving to the west side of town. Jacksonville, you're going to have it here pretty soon as well. Springville and Margaret, I mentioned earlier that Asheville had some hail where my mother was. So again, most of it though moving off away from the central part of the Birmingham metro. So Jefferson County outside of the far kind of eastern part of it is mostly clear at this point. And we'll just kind of take a look at that. So you don't really have anything, if you're in the Birmingham area, you don't really have anything imminent coming into Jefferson County. And we'll look up north as well while we're making our radar tour here and just take a quick look in North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley. So a few scattered storms, nothing as heavy as what we've seen in the southern parts of the state at this point, but do have one south of Athens, a few forming near the Tennessee River. And we did have some heavier storms up on the Sand Mountain and up on Lookout Mountain earlier. It looks like we've got a little bit more of that going on as well. So we'll zoom into this. So near Valley Head and Mentone, you've got some heavier storms that are kind of pulsing up and down. And north of Fort Payne, not quite there yet, but these don't look as menacing as some of the ones that we saw further to the south. All right, and let's take one more look. The Bald Rock camera had a nice view of some of these storms as they were exiting to the south, because it's kind of in this vicinity here. And so I'll take a quick look at it real quick to see what it's seeing. Yeah, so things have started to move further away. Had a little bit better view of the storm when it was closer earlier, but now it's continued to move further south and weaken. But it looks like some lingering rain there from atop the mountain. But again, lots of heavy thunderstorms around in the last hour or so. All right, we'll reset one more time here. And it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning for Houston County has been allowed to expire as well. And so that's good. Again, we'll keep an eye on things. And Bill Murray, do you have anything to report? Any I don't know, pictures or just, I guess, even just communications that you're starting to receive?
Yeah, Drew, no real pictures in, but interestingly that the rainfall rates are starting to get the attention of the Weather Prediction Center. Rainfall rates today approaching 2 inches per hour in those storms in northeastern Shelby County, just beginning to show what these storms are capable of. So we could see some flooding problems eventually if we get some storms that can build over an area for a longer period of time. Have seen some 2.7-inch accumulation amounts on the dual pole accumulation totals on our radar there near Vincent in northeast Shelby County, and seeing in these heavier cells lots of 1 to 2 inch accumulations already in a very short period of time. Watching lots of lightning there, southeast Talladega County, also in southern Calhoun County. Those lightning numbers are really coming up on those storms. Drew, the downdraft cape that's available, we talked about this in the 9 a.m. Statewide forecast this morning. The amount of downdraft cape, which is what's available to these storms to produce these damaging wind gusts today, is really on the high side. Some drier air aloft, and we've got this little mesoscale convective vortex that's left over from those storms in Mississippi last night. So, this is going to be an active afternoon, with any of these storms that can really get a vigorous updraft going for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I appreciate the report there. I've zoomed in to the rain totals product that Bill was mentioning. So again, near to the north of Vincent there could have gotten around 2 inches just in the past hour, and I'd say even less than that most likely, over an inch in north of Talladega. So again, this has dropped tremendous amounts of rain. And if we zoom out a little bit here, you can see that there's other places too that have gotten some super heavy rain with these. Anywhere that they have been around Auburn as well, Alexander City again, kind of near Lake Martin where you had that heavy storm earlier. So let's do one more reset. And we'll just double check that we don't have any new warnings that have appeared. It looks like we are clear at this point. So we will go ahead and return to our radar here. And that's good. We will, again, continue to monitor the situation. And if we have any more warnings or anything worth passing along, we can break in again and let everyone know what's going on with these heavy thunderstorms in the eastern and southeastern part of the state. All right, thanks for watching us, and we'll keep an eye on things for you.
Live, statewide, 24/7. It's the Alabama Weather Network. Every 20 minutes, it's your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network. We've got your midday statewide forecast, and taking a look across the state, some clouds beginning to form in a lot of areas. Got a little bit of a spin here to the northwest of Birmingham. This is a leftover little complex of thunderstorms from yesterday afternoon in Mississippi.